guys, this week on When You Need 'Em, Ask Neadom, we're going to take a look at how to stay connected during a disaster. How do you do it? I don't know. Stay tuned, we'll check it out. See you then. Hey guys, welcome to another week of When You Need 'Em, Ask Neadom. I'm Neadom Tucker, owner of Kotori Technologies, and today we're going to talk about how to stay connected during a disaster. Now, if we just got through Hurricane Doreen, we just did that. I had my whole staff was off for a week. State of South Carolina declared an emergency. How do we do it? How do we stay connected during this disaster? Now, again, we're not talking about really staying connected when the wind's blowing and the tornadoes are blowing your house off. That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how you stay connected and how you keep your organization functioning when you have to deal with something like, the governor of the state declaring a state of emergency and basically you being forced to have all your employees go home because you want to be a great boss. So we're going to look at the 7 things to help keep you connected during a disaster. So number one thing we want to take a look at is you should have some sort of cloud-based file management system like OneDrive or Dropbox or Google Drive to help keep access to your files when you're offline. Now, a lot of these services have cloud-only synchronization, and then you have to manually select which files you want to have offline. So make sure you do that before you lose internet connectivity to make sure you're staying online and connected. So using a file managing service, again, is the first thing you got to make sure you've got squared away. The second thing we want to take a look at is internet access. I mean, if you can't get online, then that's one thing, but if you have a way of staying online when you're off, during the site or even after the disaster, you want to make sure you have a way. And so maybe it's a mobile hotspot, your phone, maybe you've got actual hotspot device from your carrier, maybe your laptop or your tablet has got 4G service and it can act as a hotspot. Maybe if you don't have access that way, maybe you need to go to a cafe like a Starbucks before or after, or maybe if you go to a hotel that's got service, some way to get you online so you can communicate. Because if you're not able to communicate with your team and staff through your normal communication methods, email, then you're going to have a really hard time staying connected. So the third thing you want to take a look at is you've got plenty of battery chargers or power packs for your phone or your mobile device or anything to keep your systems charged and running if you don't have power. Now, if you've got power, then you're good, and you've typically got internet if you've got power. Maybe you're running a disaster recovery company and you need to stay up and running, but your location that you have doesn't have power. So how do you conduct business? Where are calls getting forwarded to? How are you handling the incoming, inbound calls? How is that happening? Again, make sure you've got plenty of power, backup generator, or something in place to make sure you're prepared in the event that you don't have power or internet. Maybe you don't have a power pack, but you want to make sure you maybe have a spare battery. So if you've got a Windows PC, a lot of these Windows PCs, Dells, Lenovo's, HP, have a battery compartment that can come out and get replaced. Have an extra battery charged and ready to go. A lot of MacBooks don't have that functionality, so if you use a really large amp-hour battery pack that can charge your MacBook while you're there, then that'll work as well. Solar panels are another way to go. If you have solar panel in the daytime, you can charge your batteries via solar as well. You just have to be prepared for that. Again, you're not going to get solar powered in the middle of a hurricane, but again, if it's in the daytime and you've got plenty of sunlight, you can charge your batteries that way. So the fifth thing is you want to make sure, and this kind of sounds crazy, but you really want to try to have a spare device. And so if your whole business is, let's say, documenting pictures, have an extra camera. If your whole thing is, getting online, have an extra phone or tablet, or if you've got a phone, have a tablet. Making sure that you have a way to communicate with your team or do your job is really important to stay connected or do what you need to do. So have a spare device in case you're literally at the last piece. I hear so many stories where companies can't get their work done or can't get open after a disaster because they weren't prepared and have spare equipment on place. And so if you have a big office and you left all your PCs in place, make sure you have enough spares somewhere else or you have a location that you can go to in the event, but have a spare ready to go. So the sixth thing we want to take a look at is communication. Now, we talked a little bit about this, about staying connected, but how do we stay connected to our employees, to our customers? Well, we want to use things like email. I mean, email is kind of pretty standard, but also take a look at if someone doesn't have access to their email. Maybe your organization has got security policies in place where they can't access company email if they're outside the organization. So how are you going to stay connected? Maybe use a chat client like Teams or Slack. Maybe use a text messaging service like WhatsApp. Have your communication squared away. Maybe you want to use social media to notify your customers that yes, you're in business. You may not be able to call us because our lines are down, but send us an email. Or maybe your email's down and you need to give us a call. let your customers know through Facebook, Twitter, whatever your social media platform is, the best way to do that. Send your customers an email to let them know that you're open during the hurricane or during the disaster or during the flood or whatever you've got going on. Let your customers know that you're available for them to do business as they need, because they're going to depend on you for the services that you offer. Okay, and the last, and I honestly think the most important you can have in your business, is an emergency contact list for you and your employees. If your employees have to bug out for whatever reason, or you have to bug out for any reason, how are you going to get a hold of them if you don't have their cell phone number? What's their second point of contact or third point of contact? Are they going to their grandma's house in North Carolina? Are they going to their dad's house in Texas? Where are they going to go? Stay connected with them, know what's happening, have a second way to stay connected with them so you know what's happening. Well, guys, that sums up another week of When You Need 'Em, Ask Neadom. Remember, we want to make sure you're safe out there, but we also want to make sure you can keep your business running in the event of a disaster before or afterwards. If you need help with any of these things, please reach out to us online at www.kotoritechnologies.com. Until next time, guys, you guys stay safe. See you then.